Howdy, all. Welcome to session 8 of Tales from the Bloody Rift. Look forward to a good one today. Jason's got the last time on.
Yeah, last time on Tales from the Bloody Rift, Kayla and Sage were ambushed by the Sagan Free Society people. Um, as they are wont to do. It seems to be a
Sagan
very
Free
common
Society.
trope. Forming, getting captured.
This sector of space is just all about ambushing people.
Yeah, that's what happens. Or we just lack imagination as role players.
Look. An ambush is a valid storytelling device, okay?
Anyways, so we again get ambushed and captured, or taken at gunpoint, essentially, to meet one of the leaders of one of the houses of the many mob-like families of the Sagan Free Society. He questions us on. Well, first we convince them that we're not working with Phoenix necessarily, just for Phoenix, for monetary gain, and emphasizing that we're mercenaries and that we're hired muscle basically, and not really much anything else to Firebird or Phoenix himself. So hopefully trying to gain the trust of them, or at least get on their better side so they don't space us and eventually give us work. And with that, they did. After hearing about the item we retrieved from Phoenix, went ahead and drilled Sage and Kayla about the what it was that we had that we were getting for them, and we let them know it was the box, and got a little more history about like what's going on with the boxes and the cult and Cerberus, and basically Sagan's their mission basically to stall Firebird and the cult from doing whatever they're doing and keeping and protecting various relics that they think would be useful to their enemies by depriving them of them. And then they gave us a task to go down to Cerberus and actually clear out a cult. Was it a compound or a group? I can't remember.
There was I think it's some kind of temple or compound or encampment that's been hassling the Sagan people who are down there trying to work the engineering side of terraforming Cerberus.
Yeah. And with that, Kayla and Sage made their way down to meet contacts on the surface of Cerberus. And as they were preparing, we discovered a little more about the other relic that they had uncovered for Stimmy, which looked like kind of a useless alien Guga that just
a Guga, you might say,
looked kind of nifty, cyberpunky looking kind of thing, but otherwise just kind of lame.
The kind of thing that a high-ranking priest might put on his desk to impress people.
Yeah. And then I went and had to go pick it up, and it turned out it was for those who are Bleach fans, basically an alien like Zanpakuto.
Yes, the alien like lightsaber Zanpakuto.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah,
it made Sage Hulk out a bunch, and yeah, it made him embiggened and more beefy.
More spicy Sage, beefy Sage,
more combat ready, I guess.
Yeah. One more like you know, potentially iconic, one might say.
Yes. All right, and that
um,
was last time on Tales from the Bloody Crypt. Or Crypt?
Huzzah! Tales
Rift.
from the Bloody Crypt.
The Bloody Crypt. What is
Which one of us is the Bloody Crypt Keeper? That's my question.
um,
It's probably Jason
I
because you
don't
can't see
know.
his face.
Yeah, that's true. We'll go with that. Just assume that I look like a desiccated corpse with long silver hair.
I assume either that or some kind of evil incarnate hellspawn demon thing. Those are the two images I have in my head.
Okay.
Well, that and the sexy beard. I guess there's three images.
You said Crypt Keeper, so my brain
I
went to
did.
Crypt Keeper.
No, I know. I'm just saying there's like three potential images I have in my head of you. That's what I'm saying.
Ah.
The Crypt Keeper is just one of them. All right, so I'll start with my vignette here. Just a little one. On the Mercy, uh, ship lurches. Kayla shouts, "Gravitational anomaly!" Turns to Sage, "Strap in!" Moving fast, shift the helm from the nav system to manual control. Kayla's getting ready to fight against the sudden pull that comes from nowhere. As the Mercy wrenches to one side, she grabs the stick, but the nav system kicks back in and takes back control. Frantically, she tries to regain control. By the time she does, she realizes that something in the ship identified the anomaly and navigated past it, executing a maneuver that the ship should not have been able to do on its own. This isn't the first time something weird has happened on the Mercy. Kayla resolves to keep this to herself for now and do a teardown to find the bug in the system the next time the Mercy spends an extended time in the dock. "Tim," chirps at Sage. Kayla, not fully understanding yet, but recognizing what passes for her name in his language, realized it was probably some smartass remark about her piloting. "Shut up, Tim. You think you can do better? You try piloting us away from a sudden gravitational anomaly next time." End scene. Getting a little taste of the weirdness on the Mercy there.
All right. Okay.
All right, indeed.
So we go back in time again, and we're looking at Cerberus as it was many, 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 many eons ago, countless eons of time, back when it was a lush and verdant forest-like world. A four-armed reptilian stands upon a stone dais. Its limbs are heavily armored with the advanced plasteel plating, and its head also masked in a helmet of similar material. While its torso seems unprotected and furry at first glance, upon a closer look you can see that the fur is from the Zid symbiote, offering protection to the body of the creature. Two lower limbs each wield swords, glowing with Essentia power weapon tech. In its upper arms is an Essentia staff. It waves the staff around. Strange symbols outlining the door at the top of the dais light up. The doors that lead down into the nesting chambers of their masters. The patterns show the door was now sealed, and the armored figure makes its way down the stone steps to be greeted by its squad members. One of them barks angrily at the staff-wielding creature, and they soon begin to fight with each other. The others, consumed with a bloodlust, also turn on one another. The brawl is bloody and fatal and fast. The intensity of the fight kicks up the dust, and all around you can see are the occasional limb or sword sticking out of the cloud of dust. In the end, only one survives. It picks up the staff and seemingly calls down a pillar of fire, consuming its dead compatriots. It gives a dismissive snort, then turns the staff towards their vessel, lighting it up like its pals. The creature then lays down its armors and weapons. Wearing nothing but the symbiote, the creature then turns away from the nest complex and disappears into the nearby woods and into the darkness of the night. End scene.
Nice. Okay. So. Nicholas Hughes. Oh, first off, get that sweet momentum.
Oh yeah.
Gotta crank that up. So, Nicholas Hughes, the head of the Hughes family, who is the family in charge of the engineering for the uh, terraforming project of Cerberus for Sagan Free Society. He has sent us to this encampment to meet up with, I believe it was Seth Haynes. Talk to him about the cultists. So we find ourselves. I mean, we landed. We armed up. Uh, we landed. We basically, you know, said hi to this guy, and that was the end of the last game. So coming into this, we should probably talk about a couple of things here. I think. What's the size of this cultist encampment? I feel like to the Sagan Free Society people that this is just an encampment, but to the cult, they're occupying some kind of temple. Like, not that the Sagan Free Society people don't realize that it was, might have been a temple at one point in time, but just that, you know, they don't have as much of a religious uh, bent to things, so they're not really thinking. They're just thinking of it as, it's an encampment, like taking up space, trying to
They're
fuck
in
with
some
our.
ruins.
Yeah, they're in some ruins. They're messing with our stuff. So I feel like if this is one of the places that the this is like a temple, and this is one of the places where like the cult needs to be, then I mean it's probably a sizable like contingent of cult members. Let's see what do we have that lets us figure out the size of things.
That's what I was looking for. I don't know what that would be.
Okay, so I see where we can get location themes. There's a ruined theme. Let's see. So we can get some information about the ruins or the what
There's infested, haunted, inhabited, ruined.
ruined is what I was thinking we would use if this is like a if we're if this is going to be like a temple thing, but none of those help with like how many people there would be.
Settlements, population.
Settlements is probably a good one. Yeah.
And I guess terminus would be. No.
No, Outlands probably, right?
Expand.
Well,
Whatever is the one that is most sparse, right? Would probably be more fitting.
yeah. Actually, that would, I was like, because tens of thousands is still a 10% chance on Outlands. It's only 5% on the Expanse, so Expanse is probably what we want there. So here, I'll roll that. Phew.
Okay.
Do we? Let's see. Let's see what else. Whoops! Shit! Didn't mean to roll that. I keep forgetting that the eyeball is to look at the list, and the clicking the
Yeah.
name is to actually roll it. Which is funny because I just been clicking the eyeball and then clicking the name to roll it a minute ago, but brain not work so good. That's what happens when you get off weed, man. Never get off the weed. Let's see. Okay, so we know there's a few. I'd be willing to bet if this was causing them problems, though, it's probably at the top end of that. So 20 is probably a good number to go with, right? I mean, like if it wasn't causing, I mean, they came at us. They obviously weren't super well armed or anything like that, but they came at us and got the two of us. So if it was like 10 people, I'd imagine it'd be easy for them to overrun it, or easy enough for them to overrun it.
There's a large range of dozens to hundreds.
Right?
That's interesting. Okay.
Oh, and I just
Like,
realized that the range there is the numbers, not the number you roll, and not the numbers that actually listed there. Yeah, I feel like dozens though is like still like dozens is at least 2 dozen, 24 ish,
yeah,
but like could be
that's
48.
definitely yeah, that's definitely the lower end of dozens. Is like in the 20s, and then
Actually, I guess dozens would cover like yeah, like 24 to like whatever 96 or whatever the. All right, so let's see what feature of the ruined place there is.
ruined.
Signs of looting or scavenging. Surprise, surprise.
Hey, like it writes itself.
Clearly this is one of the temples that they've been pulling artifacts from, and maybe there's more to be had, and they're just trying to get to the inner parts of it. Let's see what peril there is. Hostile creature has staked out their territory.
Holy crap!
Maybe
It's
they're
like
trying to get to something, but there's a creature that's like trapped in the inner part of it. Or what? Were you going with something else?
my fucking vignette.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. See, it listens to us.
Yeah,
Let's see what opportunity, and then let's put all this together. So there's a back way in.
okay.
Okay, so signs of looting, scavenging, hostile creatures staked out their territory, and there's a secret passage. So, and we know let's say there's 20 people there at least that they know of, not counting the creature, whatever the creature is.
Maybe there were many more of them, hundreds even, and that thing has just been racking up the kill count.
Yeah, maybe they're pulling a what do you call it, an empire or uh, a communist Russia in during World War II kind of thing, where it's like just stuff bodies stuff stuff bodies in this creature. Eventually, it'll get tired, or
Yeah.
one of us will kill it. All right, so let's see what we can do for creatures here.
Well, I think we know what the creature is.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Something like a four-armed reptile-like thing, maybe,
maybe.
with a Zid.
Oh, dude, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I was blanking on what you were talking about there for a minute. I get you. Yeah. So maybe it's like one of the leftovers of like someone who they've been hibernating. They got popped out of hibernation by the cult, either accidentally or on purpose. They didn't realize what I mean, they purposefully, meaning that they purposely opened whatever it was in, but they didn't realize what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, since the surface is all barren and everything, right? It's like a death world or whatever now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
There's like
essentially
no real cover or anything, right? No real plant life anywhere.
no.
And so whatever is surviving is clearly not human, or at least the environment's not killing it outright. I'm thinking
Well,
it's in a cave somewhere.
yeah, yeah. I definitely think like a cave system. Something that like so like if it's temple ruins even, it's not like the surface is all kind of rocky and stuff, and there's been plenty of
It's
like whatever
hiding out
chain.
in one of those chambers somewhere.
Yeah, so there's probably like everything. The ruins in their entirety are underground, and inside there's like multiple rooms and yeah, there's some kind of like rear chamber, but there's like maybe there's multiple ways to get in to this place,
Yeah.
and being engineers, uh you know Seth and his people probably have it mapped out, on at least from what you can do from the surface.
Well, that these
They
were the cultists in these ruins here. Or are you saying
it it
they
is the
mapped it
cultists in the
out?
room. I'm saying
Like,
I'm
got you,
saying that the
got you.
engineers probably know the access points. They don't know the insides necessarily, but they know the access points because they've been doing what they need to do to terraform Cerberus. So they probably have some kind of like you know reconnaissance that they've done, or like surveying. you know, uh, sorry, yeah, I'm switching back and forth there. Yeah, so the cultists, I think their goal here is they're trying to get relics. They're trying to get anything that might help them. You know, bring about the doom that they so desperately desire. So yeah, so they've run into this creature, and maybe they've got it like blocked into a room. They've got it blocked in to where it's at, but it's like cutting off a part of the temple. So like there's a back way, but that back way leads to the creature and not the cultists. That
Yeah,
could screw us, right?
yeah, 100%.
That'd be danger that's not technically an ambush, right? So we'd be breaking our constant danger from ambushes. I mean, it's still kind of like a laid trap, but it's not exactly a laid trap, okay?
Oh,
Um
I think you need to change scenes.
oh yeah, yeah, thank you. Sorry.
Change
Herp
scenes.
herp. Thank you. There we go. So that everyone can follow along with the occasionally changing numbers and various rolls that we make. Okay.
Okay, so the Seth guy has a map of the ruins for us, and it's like, here's the best shortcut in.
He
Have at
tells
it.
us maybe, you know what, if they've been throwing people at this, he's like We've seen
Does
them send
he?
down lots of
Okay.
cultists. We have no idea how many there are in there. They
Okay.
send down a transport, people come out. Oh, good.
That answers exactly what I was going to
Oh,
ask.
okay. Like they don't know how many are in there, but they keep seeing like transports come and go. And the only thing he knows is that maybe like a small group has been harassing their encampment. So maybe like 5, 10 at a time come out and like take shots at them or like scare off their people that are trying to do their work.
Yeah.
So he very much he's not a huge amount of help as to what's on the inside, but he gives us a lot of heads up on how they're coming in, where they land. This is where the main entrance is, and he says it's a cave system that they're getting into, and they think that there's another entrance, over here, and he gives us, he lays it all out for us. Kayla is not Captain Tactics or strategy. Kayla's a shoot first and ask questions later kind of person sometimes. And she would absolutely take she would sit there and nod while he's like going through all the stuff. And she goes, okay, so we're going in the back door then. That's it. There's no thought or anything like that about it. She turns to Sage, just kind of look to see if, he approves. Seeing as
And
how
he
combat is
shrugs
more
because
Sage's.
he doesn't really have an eye for strategy, just
Just murder.
strategic murder, in combat. Not necessarily in commanding legions at this point.
So Kayla's looking at Seth, and she's like, so I just want to be clear here. The point is to clear out the cultist infestation by any means necessary, right? And Seth kind of looks at her and is like, I mean, that's yes. How you do it is up to you guys. Clearly, we're engineers here, not murder people, much like you space mercs.
Fair enough.
Kayla looks at Sage. Sage nods. Yeah, I mean, look.
It looks like a duck.
Tim probably chirps in agreement.
And we're both
Tim
just
probably
nodding.
a fan of being murder people. Okay.
We nod in unison, like we tend to.
Okay, so I think this is progress on this. We talked to them. We came down. Now we've talked to Seth. So I'm gonna mark progress on the take out cultist encampment on Cerberus. Now we're gonna head over there and we're gonna start a whole another shebang. We're gonna start a progress tracker. Actually taking out cultists. Now with this thing there, I think that ups the difficulty quite a bit. So like I would have put it at the same danger as the Vow, formidable, but I think with an alien there and the likelihood that we're going to run into it, I think that's probably extreme. Because it's going to take more than just killing a couple of cultists to to get through this.
Wait, which one? What?
Things with words. Hold up. There we go.
So should I lower the vow back to
Yeah,
formidable?
I would bump the vow back down. So the vow is like the overarching quest. The progress meter is how we keep track of when we're done taking care of cultists.
Okie dokie.
So we'll advance. I feel like we'll advance the quest at this, similar. It will advance the quest as we advance the progress meter too, but the progress meter can be like, it's more of an indicator of the immediate threat level of the encounter, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Heyo Island.
I was looking at this. Technically, we've made more inroads in helping Yukon steal information about terraforming supplies from Sagan.
We've certainly
by gaining favor with the Sagan Free Society folks.
I actually I kind of agree with that because I think we're at what, because it's dangerous. I think it's like it's two. Is it 2 boxes for dangerous or 1 box for dangerous? I'm gonna progress it 1.
Sure.
It's 2 boxes. Okay, yeah. No, I think that's I 100%. We know more about Sagan Free Society's terraforming setup now than we did before, and we haven't gotten rid of that vow yet.
Nope.
Which we can still totally do.
We haven't broken the vow. Technically, haven't broken it.
But we have not broken it. I want to point out we have not broken it. And we're not actively dodging it. We just keep getting ambushed, okay? This is just... He ambushed us. Phoenix people ambushed us. The Stimmy tried to ambush us. Now the Sagan Free Society people have ambushed us. We're just in a chain of ambushes. We're kind of along for the ride.
Of unfortunate ambushes.
Go to hell, Lemony Snicket. Okay. So I feel like it's not super far away to get to this to get to the entrances to the temple. Like I feel like it might not be within like eye line of the Hughes encampment, but like it's close enough.
It's close walking distance. Yeah, like if the cultists are taking, pot shots at their people as they're doing their normal thing, they got to be pretty damn close.
Yeah. So I feel like there's probably not any danger getting over to it. I think all the danger is going to be there.
Yeah.
So we head out. We make our way to the back entrance. What we believe to be the back entrance of the temple. What does this look like? Well, so it's going to be kind of temple-y, right?
Yep.
I feel like stones
a lot of like
glyphs.
ziggurat looking things are kind of what I was envisioning for like essential ruins and stuff. Like
what do you call it?
Mayan temples and
what's the
Babylonian temples.
What's the dungeon in WoW?
Oh God, Nax.
Nax, yeah, like Naxxramas.
Yeah.
Which I mean, also based off of those things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so we get there, like, so I feel like any entrances, so like the shortcut doesn't say anything about being hidden. So I feel like any entrances to this place are going to be kind of like, they're going to be openings into kind of a larger space where there's like, it looks like, if you watched Aliens vs. Predator, those temples they find underground where it's like,
yeah,
you come in, it's very clearly like a big cave, but there's a fascia and pillars and, like you said, ziggurats and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole full blown like temple. I mean, worn with age, and probably a lot of stuff in it has been destroyed, but for the most, just from the shifting planet.
If you can imagine, like I'm envisioning something like Encourage,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you
like
on
a
that.
lot of like sand, desolate, like it's a dead planet,
It's
so
yeah, it's very, and the temple itself is very dead. It's just it
ruins,
clearly was like
but
would have been
clearly epic.
magnificent in
And
its time.
yeah,
Yeah, and probably a lot of like the writing, symbols that we like what we saw in the boxes,
yep. Well,
things.
it looks to me, I recognize it right away
Okay,
because it looks exactly like the temples that we trained in back on our homeworld on Steve.
back on Steve
Yep,
with Tim.
yep.
So it's gonna be a big grand entrance lying in ruin,
Like it's
but
that's definitely not lost on Tim and I. Like this looks exactly like home, but if it was annihilated,
is Sage showing any of this outwardly? Kayla is kind
maybe
of taken
yeah.
back because it looks pretty crazy, and Kayla has never really, she has never been like an archaeologist or anything like that. Ever gone,
It's like
you know.
you know maybe gazing off into the distance kind of thing, and looking a little bit like nostalgic and sad
Kayla sees
about.
Sage, looking nostalgic and sad, but not with the same level of awe that she has.
Tim mentions the training grounds in little chirps. I
Kayla
nod.
says to Sage, "You recognize this place?
Yeah, this looks like home.
Where the hell did you
If
grow up?"
home were full of sand.
Kayla goes, I mean, it's kind of a big part of this place. Is the sand not normally supposed to be here?
Well, back on Steve, things were green and lush forests, good hunting grounds.
Definitely none of that here. She kind of runs her hand along some stonework. What do you think this place is used for?
Training, combat training.
Kayla has never really gotten a lot out of Sage, so it's kind of interesting to, hear that he recognizes this place and hear him describe his homeworld a little bit. So she's just going to ask him random questions. A little bonding moment between Kayla and Sage. Kayla's like, training for what though? Like, what do you need a place like this for? She's looking around.
That's just where we did our training.
Murder training.
Combat training, yeah. Hunting, storytelling. A lot of
Kayla
the
nods, impressed.
a lot of the hunt meisters and the war meisters and the story meisters. They conducted their work in them.
Kayla's like, it would be kind of crazy to work out of a place like this.
I didn't always work out a place like this. This is just a temple. We had our village,
Oh, also like
the
people
port,
didn't live here?
the port cities. No, no one lived here except for maybe some monks
This
and
place is huge. Why would no one live here?
the kids that were doing training.
We get inside the temple a little ways while we're talking, kind of absent-mindedly wandering. Kayla suddenly is like, "Well, wait. I mean, so if it looks like home to you, do you like? Does the layout look familiar?
Not the same, but the buildings look the same.
Just the same look to it." Then
Yeah, same type of buildings.
Kayla sounds mildly disappointed. She kind of hoped that
This definitely looks much larger than the one back at my village, though.
Oh, so you had a little tiny temple.
It wasn't exactly tiny.
She does the tiny hand gesture with the two fingers, her finger and thumb. She's like the tiny temple.
Tim says that they covered Steve, the world. There wasn't just one, and that there are people gathered there as well to
Kayla's
pay
like,
homage to their creators. Yeah,
did does any of this look familiar to Tim?
but yeah,
Similar layout to anything else, or just again the same look for the most part?
it's the same look. Yeah,
So we're wandering through. We come to we've looked, we've gone through a long hallway with a few little branching rooms, and we've kind of been looking as we've been talking, and we come to the end of this long hallway, and there is a large stone door with a number of symbols in it. And Kayla turns to Sage and Tim and says, and any familiarity here? Like, how do we open up a door like this?
no one's ever opened the doors. What do you mean doors?
Kayla points behind her. Large stone door.
How is that a door? How is that? That doesn't even shape like a human would go through it.
She's like, we're at the end of a hallway. We've looked through all the rooms. There's nothing else that looks like it's a big archway with big stones and symbols on it. Can't you read those? Isn't this your language? She makes sweeping generalizations about the things that you guys have talked about the box.
Tim and I just look at each other and shrug. And we help rub our hands against the wall or something looking for things.
What's the chance that this, like the box and the sword, are activated simply by being touched by you or Tim?
Yeah, let's do this. Yes. Something makes a humming sound next to one of these doors, and a light lights up. It lights up, and it's red. It's a red triangle thing.
Kayla folds her arms across her chest and leans against the wall on the other side of Sage and goes, not a door, huh?
This is a glowing triangle. Red glowing triangle. Out of the wall. How is this a door?
The humming continues. More lights flicker on in the hallway, coming from like seemingly nowhere, like rocks lighting up, like, which I assume is similar to the way your temple was. You just never really noticed it, maybe.
I asked. Maybe we asked him. What's the thing? There's a thing where you like. That might be a later symbiote thing. Oh yeah, that's an upgrade to the symbiote. Okay, never mind. I mean, we could still ask him, but we won't get any bonuses for it.
Well, we can ask him. Let's ask him.
Like, does he know?
Sorry, I keep. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing.
Oh, you're okay. You're clicking. Okay, I see. You're looking at Tim.
I was looking at Tim.
Okay. Anyways.
Oh yeah, the guidance.
Yeah. There's a guidance thing.
So while all the stuff is going on, you have a little conversation with Tim.
I mean, we asked him like, do you what? Any? Let's. I was trying to look for something that might maybe we can see. I don't know. Just I'm gonna go with small chance that he knows.
We can do we could do a
Like, what's a puzzle move kind of thing? Like what kind of?
gather information
Okay,
is an
yeah, that
adventure
works.
move that we could do.
Okay, we were okay.
So yeah, we're asking Tim.
Yeah, because we're looking.
Well, we're all talking about this while things are going on, and we're like, so what's the deal here? What do we do? What's the seemingly you guys activated this thing. Kayla thinks it's a door. So I think
Story clue. Story clue.
yeah, that's if you when you gather information, it helps you uncover clues, and you can use that roll. So you do the gather information, and depending on how it comes out, we do a story clue, and that. Well, I mean, we can do a story clue on top of that, and then depending on how the gather information turns out, that determines whether or not the story clue actually helps us.
Gotcha. Okay. I roll wits.
Do it. This is gonna be great.
I don't have any bonuses, so.
Hey,
Oh, we hit.
fuck you, man. I was getting 9s and 10s all last game.
Okay, so
Story writes itself.
Tim says, "Turn the thing, the knob." I asked him what knob he's talking about. He goes, "The knob that you just activated." So I go and reach to the red triangle and turn it, hand wavy, and it's like glowy, and my hands move through it. And finally, I try to grab it like a handle and turn it, and
Tim goes, "No, the other way, asshole."
yeah, and then yeah, I do that, and then it turns into a green circle or square. I can't remember what I.
Boom.
Yeah, green circle.
And there's like a little ping
Yeah,
sound,
and then
like
an aperture opens in that polygonal doorway, and you get to rub it in my face that it is in fact a door.
Kayla stands there and unfolds her arms from her chest and does the like, I don't know, the Seinfeld shrug, whatever that's, that kind of thing. Look, see? Doorway.
I didn't know those did that.
She goes, "Thanks, Tim. Thanks. Thanks for the help after we had to sit here and, stroke your ego for a bit, being the only one that knows what's going on here." Kayla pulls out both of her guns and is like, not knowing why she didn't pull them out earlier, because we've been in this place for a little while. So I think we mark progress on actually taking out the cultists. And she proceeds in through the doorway. How likely do you think it is that we run into either the alien or the cultists?
Should we start with small chance and work our way up after each
That's probably a good idea.
failure? Are we rolling one for each, or
I think that no, I think the question is, do we run into something?
Okay.
And then when we find out we run into something, then we do like a
50-50
a
of what
50-50, and it'll be, is this it? Did we run into the alien? Is the question after that.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want to roll for small chance?
No,
Nope.
we don't run it.
This is a this doorway just leads to another long tunnel. This well, it leads around a little bend. It looks like it kind of snakes back on itself, like maybe the rooms are kind of interleaved between these two long hallways, and so it kind of leads us back around.
I before we passed to the door, I'd grabbed my sword because I wasn't sure what was going to happen when we go through it, and obviously, embiggen myself and all that.
All embiggened.
Go, go Super Saiyan and combat ready and all that stuff, and yeah, so that happens as normal.
Dude,
I unleash
what
my
if
sword,
what if the
and
temple has a stronger reaction to the uh fuck, what are they called? What are we calling the aliens? The Essentia. What is it? What if the temple has a stronger reaction to powered on Essentia tech than just you guys touching stuff? So like,
that'd be
as
interesting.
as we're walking along, the like lights in the hallway all come up.
Yeah,
Like, okay, so whatever you did there, keep doing that part.
it explains why the doorknobby thing worked when it didn't before. Uh, for me in our temple because we didn't have essential weapons. We just had unless you count the
Well, yeah,
symbiote as a weapon, which sure it is, but not tech. It wasn't tech
it wasn't the
in our
tech. You
tech.
guys didn't have the tech.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right?
that
Maybe
definitely.
like the priests had stuff that let them, you know,
I
do
wouldn't know
things.
about that. I'm just
But you
a
wouldn't know about that because you're a
lowly
lowly
hunter
soldier.
turned warrior soldier dude guy.
You're
Um,
just a soldier, Ant. We
one of the
get it.
fighter class. That's all. Um, but yeah. So okay. So that definitely would explain some stuff there. But I think since we didn't run into cultists and I'm all activated and stuff, uh, we didn't run anything. So I'm going to say when that happens, I get like flashes of like visions, momentary
Like
flashes
like
of
the
visions
like the
of
temple
that.
kind of communicating with you,
No,
or
I see through something's eyes in the
ooh,
darkness. Yeah, some kind of snort sound it gives, and then I come to again. It's just quick.
you okay there, buddy? Is this
I
taking a lot out of
explain.
you?
I explain what I just saw.
Kayla's like, oh, okay. Kayla's like, is this similar to the to
It's
what
like
the
I saw
box did?
through something's eyes.
Okay, so slightly different than the box.
Yeah.
Huh. Kayla seems mildly concerned, but shrugs her shoulders at it. Not much we can do about it right now. Uh, hopefully, uh, hopefully, you don't see through something's eyes when I need you to jump into action here. She continues down the hallway. Keep checking rooms. Um, let's see. Get down to the end of this hallway again, and there's not a door there.
Not a door.
She's like, "Did we miss something? Maybe like we looked in the rooms, but we didn't really see much. There's maybe 7 or 8 large rooms down this hallway. On either side. Because she's a pilot, she orients herself spatially pretty well, and is like these. Looking back down the hallway, these rooms on the right are kind of interleaved with those rooms from the other hallway. So the rooms on the left gotta have something that we gotta have something that we missed. So let's say there's 4 rooms on the left, and so I think we gotta go search through them. I think it's a 50-50 shot that we find something in one of the rooms.
Okay.
Digging around deeper in the rooms itself, like not just we were just kind of ducking our heads in and taking a look. Now we're kind of actually going in and like looking around for something that looks like more than a wall. So we check the first room. There's a lot of looks like it might have been a bunk. There's a lot of like spaces that look like sleeping areas. Go on to the next one.
No, again.
No again. This one's not super obvious, but there's stone pillars in the wall that kind of look like they would be exits out of the room, but they don't lead to anything. And there's no Sage tries touching the walls, doesn't get a reaction out of it.
Just touching all the walls.
Just
stroke the furry wall.
Just stroke the furry wall, buddy. Next room.
There's a thing.
There's a much smaller version of the passageway we went through from the one hallway into the next. But it looks almost exactly the same. It was kind of behind a little, it's kind of in a little alcove off to the side, so we didn't see it when we just ducked our heads into the look. Sage feels it up. Does the turny thing, I assume?
Yeah.
Does the turny thing. Aperture opens, smaller aperture, more human size, not quite as big. What is the likelihood? Oh, okay, so is it going up that we're running into something?
Yeah. Nothing.
Still run into nothing.
And I get another quick flash, and I'm still. It still feels like I'm seeing through something's eyes, and it's changed its location now. It senses something, and then I flash back to where we're at.
Oh shit!
I think something is hunting us.
Son of a bitch! The cultists? Kayla says.
I don't know.
There's something other than cultists down here. I mean, I don't know, like...
Sounded more of a beast than a person, but...
Oh, God. Did something live in here? Did things live in your temples?
We didn't even know you can go inside them.
Kayla's like, God damn it. God damn it.
This is all new.
I expect you to know these things. Just everything off the top of your head, how this all works. Let's see. Dude, we should have done a derelict. Whoops, shit. That's nothing.
Where is this at?
Where are we now? Oh, here. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Whoa. No. Wrong one.
Yeah.
I thought that was something else. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's it. I keep... It's another corridor.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
Corridor with a corpse.
What kind of corpse? Is it... We're going to assume it's like a slaughtered cultist or something?
I would assume it's a slaughtered cultist. Like it's something that's been feeding, and it like, how like some creatures will like
They
store
take their
food in different places.
Yeah.
just to have like stashes. So it's like relatively fresh. I don't know how let's see. Okay, it's either fresh or decomposing, right? Like
Yeah.
it'll be one of those two. So is it fresh? Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So there's like streaks of blood going all the way down the corridor and around the corner. Uh and
Yeah,
this cultist
this
is
is not
like
good.
in pieces piled up, clearly missing some parts.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Did you see bloody cultist mess? Kayla has her guns up now and is like very cautiously stalking down the hallway next to
I,
Sage. She's not going to
I'm,
move forward if Sage isn't going to move forward.
I'm going to gather information.
Do it.
Um, I'm using my oh, okay. That's if I okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do a gather information, using the sword, looking at the corpse to see what kind of clues I can get, what dismembered this, if it has any information. Like if it's actively giving me any information about it.
Gotcha.
Right. It's weak hit. Um okay, yeah, I can tell from the readout, from what the sword is telling me, like some kind of claws were responsible for disemboweling the corpse and tearing into it.
Kayla nods. Okay. And cultists don't have claws, as far as we know, given what we've seen.
Like something quickly went for its throat and then ripped out its guts. I'm assuming they eat it.
Kayla's like, well, on a positive note, maybe there won't be that many cultists to deal with here. Go down
And
to
I
the.
forgot to actually add momentum for my last gather
Oh,
information.
then do it.
Uh,
So we continue down the corridor. And
how does this complicate our quest, though?
I mean, we didn't know that there was an alien.
Okay.
I think this gives us I think, well, like we talked about it beforehand, so there's like two ways, there's two parts of this game. Part is doing the meta work
Right, right.
to build something up so
I
that you
know.
can work off of it, and then the other part's actually playing it. So I feel like we did all the meta work. This fits with the complication is we're not just here against cultists like we thought.
Yeah. Okay.
So, well, and obviously this thing is something's killing cultists. So, and we've run into one place where it's stored a dead cultist. So, uh,
On Sage says on the upside, this is less cultists for us to kill.
yeah, Kayla agrees. So we continue down the hallway, the corridor, get to the bend. Kayla pokes out with her pistols and lights, lighting up the other end. Leads to another door. Same size as the one we went through to get into this corridor. Sage does the turny thing. Kayla's standing back with her guns drawn now, though she's a little bit more conscious here. So first off, I'm going to roll what zone we find. And we'll kind of go off of this. There's a lot of stuff that wouldn't be here in the temple, but, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Do you mean access or?
No, no, no. Sorry. Access is the. So I was looking at access. Access areas are like the way you access a room. So like it's like
Oh,
corridor,
okay.
stairs, lift, elevator. This is actually a list of the different areas that could be there. So like I was saying before, like there's like oh, we're in bunk area, kind of thing. So maybe this is like this community. Maybe this is like a well, I guess I can roll and see what shows up. There we go. So some kind of like library, maybe.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't. There wouldn't be books though, but yeah, some kind of.
Well, maybe there's like pictorials. Yeah, so there's like
Yeah.
it's like maybe it's a like
Oh, too bad it wasn't art depicting historic events because that's pretty typical of what I explained in some of the vignettes
it
before.
could be. I mean, we're close enough. Like we take what we want for this. I mean, these are kind of just
Yeah, these are guidance. Yeah, yeah.
so. I mean, so yeah, so no, I think that works totally fine. And that's I mean, it fits the same like. Okay, so it's like a it's like a an area in the temple that they use to honor past or use to honor the history of this planet. So it looks familiar to you, because it's very Essentia centric, but it's also very alien to you because it's a totally different peoples that inhabited this planet.
Yeah.
And so like there's like you see things that you like recognize, but there's like
Well, I mean
different.
the like little images of like temple grounds and stuff like that are familiar, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, all the creatures that are depicted in it are these four-armed lizard-looking things that we can tell.
Do they have do they have symbiotes too? Was that part of it?
Yeah. Well, maybe some do, some don't, kind of thing.
But it's likely that we see like a mural with these four-armed lizard dudes though, and they're like some of them are wearing things that look very similar to Tim.
Yeah.
So Kayla's gonna say, "Did your people expand, Tim? Out past what was the Steve?" While she's like looking at a mural that looks suspiciously like
See if Tim
Tim
knows.
wrapping a
Does Tim
so
know? Tim does not know.
I think Tim thinks that Tim only knows what happened to you guys on Steve.
Tim doesn't know about any expansion, but Tim knows that there were others before that they used to bond to, that the creators wanted them to.
While we're looking around, gotten up to 50-50. Oh, we run into something.
Okay.
Is it the alien?
Yes.
Oh, oh, oh.
Is it hostile? almost certain or likely?
I
Does it
think
notice
almost.
Tim?
That's a good question. I think. Does it notice Tim? I think it's a 50-50 shot that I mean, like it's watching us probably, but whether it notices Tim yet, or that you're not, that it's not just armor that you're wearing or something like that,
Well, if it didn't notice Tim, would it notice the sword that I'm carrying as well? Because it's all activated and my eyes are all glowy, and
Oh, that's a good point.
so I think it's likely he recognizes one or both.
Does the alien recognize something about either Tim or the sword?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it the sword? I'm going to say 50-50 shot. I mean,
Sure.
whatever catches its eye first.
Yeah.
Nope.
Tim.
No,
Recognize
it
Tim.
sees Tim. I mean, to it, like, these cultists have probably been taking stuff. It maybe not is not thinking of the fact that the sword's powered up, but it's like, cultists take relics from this place. Is it?
Yeah, but cultists don't activate those things from this place.
That's what. But I'm just saying, like the maybe it immediately recognized Tim, and that just kind of overrode the recognizing the sword right off the bat as being
Yeah.
activated. Uh, okay. So this thing, I mean, these things, if this if this alien is from a culture that has symbiotes, are they? It is. I mean, he's gonna be. It's gonna be a what do you call it? I mean, it's gonna be intelligent life, right? It's
Yeah.
not just gonna be a mindless monster.
Right.
Um, do you? Oh man, how
I know
do
where
you?
you. I know where I kind of want to go. So I think you're probably leaning in the same direction here. Like,
How do we
do we
communicate?
try to communicate? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can it communicate with us? Can we understand it or do
Is it
something to?
is it outright hostile, or is it going to want to figure out why the fuck I've got a symbiote?
How likely do you think it's hostile?
How likely has the symbiote piques its curiosity over its hostility? It's,
I think if this thing's on a dead planet, it knows to some degree something's happened because it got let out of whatever it was sealed in, and the temple's in ruins for the most part. And even if it hasn't been outside, it's probably pretty obvious that the temple is not. It has been sitting for a long time without people, without its species there taking care of it.
yeah.
So I think that I I think that even if it was a very similar to Sage in that it's just a warrior that's been trained, I think it would see the symbiote and go like, okay, are these friend or foe, and like try to figure that out instead of like. First, I'm gonna mark one more thing because we actually
Oh
ran
yeah.
into the alien now. So yeah, I think it's gonna try to. I think it would try to figure out if this was friend or foe, like Sage would try, right? Like if Sage ran into some alien he couldn't communicate with, but saw that it has symbiote that looked exactly like Tim. How how would
Right
Sage proceed?
now, I've got the sword. And my brain is focused on combat and analyzing the situation and the weak points of this creature. My
Well, we haven't
mind
seen
isn't
it yet.
really.
We don't know that it's there, right?
Oh, we don't.
Like it's seen us. We know it's seen us, right?
Okay.
Is that, I
Yeah.
feel like that's where we're at. We're trying to assess what the creature's attitude towards us is going to be, right? And
But
so it's
it is alien. It's not human, so it's
yeah.
not necessarily going to have the same. And
Oh,
who
I know.
knows what its directives were, or why it's here. Um,
So maybe we can let's work on the creature then.
on a meta level, I'm assuming he's there. Kind of where I was going with that vignette was, uh, um, without giving too much away, kind of the ending of the relationship with the Essentia, and then maybe they found something out that they didn't like, and like fuck this, and are now preventing. They're taking care of this nest to prevent, you know, the destruction of their planet because they know what's coming.
That's the Essentia doing it.
Yeah,
So let's do this. Let's
it knows what the purpose of this is, of what the temple is, and it's here to keep anyone from furthering the Essentia goals.
well, I was okay. So I was kind of seeing these guys as like, oh, this
It
is the
kind of
race.
swore off its vows and is now actively patrolling the ruins to keep interlopers out from triggering the harvest or something.
Okay, so you think this guy's overall objective is to not let the Essentia hatch from this planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think then that he sees Tim, he's curious, but then he sees the sword. And he realizes that a whoops, shit. I didn't mean to. He realizes that a you're another you're some kind of Essentia touched race. You're another Essentia touched race of some kind. Uh that the symbiotes maybe have something to do with uh, the way the Essentia like control the population or something like that. And then, but then he sees the sword and thinks maybe, oh shit, maybe you're here for the Essentia.
Right. Yeah. We're the new henchmen of the Essentia.
So we find ourselves in another
That's a
ambush.
valid that's a valid assumption. Oh boy.
Okay. Let's see. How do you deal with this kind of thing? God damn it. That's okay. So I don't know. Are we does this mean we're going to be forced into entering the fray? Because like if I feel like we haven't seen the creature yet, like I feel like it's hanging back and watching us, and we're kind of just wandering or stumbling around through the temple essentially. And like the little vision bits you've been seeing have already shown us that the creature's aware that we're here. And I feel like if it's been taking out the cultist solo, it's probably not dumb. It's probably very dangerous. So maybe it's a face danger first. No, what? Okay, so how's this thing going to come at us is the question.
Yeah, that's
I think that's the issue. That's sorry, I was just going about this the wrong way. So
well, I mean there really is only Enter the Fray,
yeah,
right?
for us.
And
So
it's caught in a trap.
it's caught in a trap.
We're caught in a trap.
Oh yeah, we're caught in a trap.
When I said it's, I meant like
Yeah, I got
the
you.
role. Like,
Yeah, well, so we're not so we don't necessarily roll for the other things though. We kind of do our rolls and then match the stuff, fit the stuff that's going on around us to that. So like how I feel like this is gonna spring a trap on us, and so yeah, so it's like you said, we're caught in a trap, so we're gonna have to react to that. But how do we envision this thing coming at us? Like, is it just gonna jump out at us, or is it gonna do like a? I think it's gonna do like an alien thing where our motion detectors go off and we see it coming at us before we can actually see it, or
yeah. Do I sense it through Tim or something?
well, oh, you have the sword. Doesn't the sword
And,
do some like
oh,
crazy?
I mean, there's clearly a link between the creature and I that I'm picking up through
Yeah.
either Tim or the sword or the combination of both. And so
Okay.
yeah, that would serve as kind of what you were saying. Like, does
Do
the alien
any
thing?
three of those things? I'm gonna make a roll here. Do any three of those things give us like let us know that we're in danger here? And I'm gonna say I don't know. It's a 50-50 shot.
I'd say yeah. Let's start off, with small chances of base, right? But then each thing would increase it. So like having Tim would bump that to unlikely. Having the sword as well would bump that up to 50-50, I'm guessing. Maybe.
Okay. So 50-50 shot. Yeah, I think 50-50 shot of something.
That's why I'm justifying 50-50.
Okay, yeah, no, no, I get, yeah, I'm with you on that. It kind of 50-50 shot that something is going to let us know that we're in danger
Yeah.
or mortal peril or something along those lines. Nope.
Nope. We are unawares.
So we are caught unawares in a trap. We're being forced into a fight.
Yep.
I feel like the thing would ignore me and go at you.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
you're wearing Tim. You have an Essentia sword, and I've just got the same weapons that the uh, the cultists have been using. So, or things that look similar to what the cultists have been using. So, the danger, I pose less of a danger to this thing, in its threat assessment than you do.
Yeah.
So I think it tries to catch you off guard and jumps at you from the shadows while we're standing there staring at the fucking murals. So I think you would enter the fray.
Yep. I do that.
Oh man, wits is Sage's strong point too, eh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oof.
Oof.
2 momentum and in control. Uh. Okay. Let's
Okay.
say I was caught unawares, but I'm suddenly not.
Well, maybe the
Uh.
thing jumps at you
My my
and Tim
symbiote
gives
sense
you, yeah,
went
Tim's
off,
like,
and
"Oh shit."
yeah,
And gives you like duck your shoulder at the right time or something like that and throw it against the wall.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make this a formidable progress track. Okay. So the thing jumps out at you. You get just enough warning to kind of, you know, throw it off before it can do anything to you. Uh, Kayla backs off, seeing the commotion, kind of freaks her out a bit, and she backs off. So she's
Okay, so
going to, I think she's going to enter the fray with Edge. Her, she's, it's a flurry of motion to her right, but she sees Sage going into battle mode, throws something to the ground. She backs off. She points both her blasters at it, flashes the light in it, and looks at it and is like, "Holy shit! It's one of those things." She
from
gets
the
a clear,
mural.
clear view of it from the mural. She points at the light at the mural, back at the thing, light the mural, back at the thing, and
The thing
then
on the wall.
she's gonna kind of run away from it and take some shots over her shoulder as she does so.
Okay.
Which is not, she has no bonuses for any of that. She gets her bonuses when she enters the fray with heart or shadow. So she's gonna enter with Edge. Motherfucker. She starts running backwards. She doesn't know what this room looks like, and she trips and fires off two shots. Choo, just hit the wall beside the thing. Not even close to it. Just, I mean, in the general vicinity of it, but not even close to doing any damage to it. Uh, she trips and falls, kind of tucks and rolls, and she's in a bad spot.
Okay. I guess me next or what?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we just kind of, we can trade back and forth doing
All right.
moves. I mean, it's kind of the traditional way of doing the, the regular role playing thing. But if you have something that you want to just like lay out, even if it takes multiple moves, feel free. We can just go with that.
I mean, at
But
this point, I'm going to Clash. I was confused. I was looking at
oh,
Clash and
okay.
Battle. Because I know before we were doing, the Clash, Strike, Reacting to Fire, that stuff. But
Yeah.
there's also like a battle one. I was like, when you fight in a battle and it happens
Oh
in a blur.
yeah, battles like if we want to summarize this without actually going through the minutia of
Oh,
what
gotcha.
happens, the
Yeah,
battles like determines the whole outcome, and then we kind of fill in the blanks with like, you
sure.
know, hey, our forces were successful. It's also if you're doing something big on a larger scale and you don't have
Yeah,
the thing. So
like
if
a battle,
we could do it, well, we could
and
use
not a
it in this
small
case.
combat.
It just we could use it in this case. It just depends on how we want to play it. So
Sure.
I feel like it'd be more interesting as an actual combat though.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to strike, make a strike move essentially.
Okay.
Since I am in control, I am assuming I'm at close quarters because it came at me and I threw it up against the wall in front of us. Um, so that's going to be an iron. And as far as envisioning the action, uh, yeah, I mean, I in the previous round threw him against the wall. Um, really surprised. Thanks Tim for alerting us, and I'm in like hyper analysis mode. Things are going off in that HUD, and I'm analyzing what the fuck this is in front of me. Oh, it's an alien! Like he yelled, "Hey, alien!" And the you know,
Just
the
in your
readouts are confirming, yeah.
you don't see it, but you definitely hear Kayla tripping over something to your
Yeah,
left.
I hear some pew, and as the shots go off, Tim and I do our battle cry together, and I'll Super Saiyan like, and raise the sword above and bring it down on the alien that's in front of us, and he and his symbiote are also doing their battle cry at us, and we're just a couple of
Question:
Super Saiyan looking assholes. Yeah.
do you think this guy has an essential weapon of some kind on him?
Um.
Like, is he just going at it with claws, or is he like, does
Let's
he have
go
some kind
with
of like?
50-50 that he's got one available. Because if this is the same one from the vignette, he threw away his weapons in disgust and went off into the wilderness for something. And we didn't see him after that. But who knows? Maybe, after being, pulled out of stasis or something,
Well, if
he,
he's, I mean, if he's like scavenged, obviously there were essential weapons around. So maybe if he
yeah.
scavenged some from the temple, like that's what I'm thinking. I don't.
Well, there's even the ones that he left, or maybe there's an armory in the temple. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
that
what's
all.
50-50 I think is a good. That's a fair.
Pew, pew, pew. Yes, he does. Okay. So yeah, he's got his.
Yeah, so I feel like you're squaring up to go against him, and he does the whole like, Sith
He
Jedi
matches
fight
me.
thing,
Yeah, we're
where he
both like,
pulls his sword
ah!
out, and it it starts doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Kayla's like, "Fuck this." So you're gonna
Yep.
so you're gonna attack him?
Yeah, I'm gonna attack him. And we'll see how that works.
How
Where
that works
is
out?
the combat roll? Strike.
Strike.
I am adding my Tim.
Oh, you had that, Tim.
I'm adding my Tim. And I am making a Clash or Strike in close quarters, so I also add another one.
Nice.
And I'm rolling iron because
Because you're close quarters.
that do be what I do.
You're doing the
Uh,
stabby stab.
and the swingy swings and the slashy slashes. And if this goes sideways, I can always re-roll.
It's okay. You're not me, so. Yep. See?
Strong hit. Did not even need to burn momentum. Okay. Mark progress twice. Stay in control. So
Nice.
we clash swords, and I strike out at him, and I keep him pinned against the wall, I guess.
Kale's gonna. So you got him like you guys clash swords and kind of push him back up against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of
So
cornered.
you're like face to face with him,
Yeah.
and he
He
is
kind
like,
of towers over me. I'm a big dude, and he makes me look small.
but he's big, but he's also you both have very similar weapons, so it's not
Yeah.
he doesn't have he's got more arms, but
He does have more arms.
he doesn't have the he doesn't have like the weapon advantage. So you guys are kind of locked in battle with him kind of pressed up against the wall. He
And
screams in your face.
if we're gonna lean into the Sith thing, like his transformed into like a dual bladed one. He's like
Oh,
wielding it
he's
with
got like a savage like dual bladed one.
yeah.
And he's kind of you just kind of got him locked at the hilt on one of the blades so he can't like swing on you.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you do that, he screams something in your face. I mean, as close to approximation as you would assume a lizard person could scream. Maybe he roars. I don't know. Do lizards roar? What sounds do
Yeah.
lizards make?
I
Advent,
mean,
tell us what sounds
they're-
lizards make. I don't know if you know. Um, so while it's happening,
Godzilla
Kayla
noises. Many
Kayla
Godzilla
kind
noises.
of tucks and rolls a little bit, and she's like, "Oh crap!" And she goes to unload on the guy from the side, seeing what she can see. So since she's in a bad spot, she's going to use Edge to pretty much dump fire on him from a distance while hopefully not hitting Sage or Tim, I guess, you know. So she she tripped and fell. She kind of like comes up in a roll, and then Sage has got this guy locked up against the wall. She sees him. She kind of just leans in and takes some shots. Motherfucker.
Okay.
He shoves Sage back a little bit. Doesn't really do anything negative for you, but just gets out of the lock, you know. And then straight up does a Jedi like knocking my blaster bolts back at me kind of move. Whoops. And I'm gonna roll a pay the price. Oh, wait. Let's see what comes up. Oh shit.
The cultists have arrived.
Damn. So these guys, the cultists have been actively hunting this guy, right? And so they've been having this kind of like ongoing fight. And so yeah, like the blaster fire and the yelling, all kind of the cultists are like, "Hey, wait, there's something going on, and it's not us." So Kayla, you know, shoots. He pushes Sage back a little bit. He knocks her blaster bolts down, like straight up Jedi move, you know. And from behind her, Kayla hears the sound of, "They're in here. I can hear them. Let's go." And then boot stomping. They haven't gotten into the room yet, but Kayla kind of looks behind her and flashes the light out. And she can see a hallway from a big open hallway where the sound is coming from. Oh man, and oh, I do get to mark progress. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't even get to mark progress, but I do get to mark progress. Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, how many of them are there? This is the question.
So I think we can stick
Out
with
of
the
the
base assumption that there were 20 that were actually here at the time that we came over,
yeah,
right?
there was one that was clearly freshly killed. So
Well, I feel I'm with you on the. You know, I think it would be cool if it was like if they had sent a bunch of cultists in, like 100, and there's only like 20 like holding down the fort essentially, like the what do you call it, the bridgehead or whatever you want to call it, you know, into
yeah,
the temple essentially. And so maybe this is a patrol of like 5 or 6 cultists,
okay, yeah, that
and
works.
there's so that there's some they send some out on patrol to kind of like look for the creature or figure out where things are at or go find more stuff, and then a big chunk of them stay behind. And then they're over time they're slowly reinforced with more transports coming and dropping off more cultists, but not, I mean, over time being like days, not like during
Right.
this combat.
Correct. Correct.
Unless unless something happens. All right. So that was Kayla. Didn't really do anything to help progress with the guy and introduce the cultists into the fight, kind of.
Typical Kayla, says Tim.
Kayla, here's Tim's meep, 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 you know, his what do you call it? His beaker
He's
talk.
Beaker. Yeah, Beaker talk. There we go.
She hears his beaker talk and hears her name, and it's like, I don't need it right now, Tim. Not now. Not now. So while you are handling the alien, she's kind of she's watching the doorway. She is still in a bad spot because she obviously didn't do anything with the alien, and now she's got people rushing in on her. Whereas
Okay.
you are still in
A
control,
fantastic spot. Yep.
the best spot.
All right. Yeah. Despite the aliens' uh, efforts to push me back, it only managed to make it up for an opening to deflect your shots before I locked them back up again. And now I'm going in for another clash, and Tim and I are or I guess strike. Sorry, I'm using the wrong terminology for my
Oh
own
my
here.
god, use the right terms. No.
So I mean, yeah, we're gonna go for another strike because that's what we do. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do it.
Let's do for it. Go for it again. Do for it. Do for it.
What's it gonna look like? Because you're like you got him locked up again. Are you gonna kind of like do
That's what I'm
something
trying to think
fancy?
of.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Like you're gonna try to like trip him, like take his feet out from under him while you've got the sword locked up, so you can put him down on the ground, put him in a worse position.
the with our with the sword, it analyzes the best best spot to strike him at while trying to anticipate any counters, and realize it's got an opening on its wrist, so I try to disarm it by slashing at its wrist.
So there's like something comes up and it's like flashing in your vision, like, hey, that's the
Yeah,
weak spot, and you're like, oh shit, I should do something about that.
it's telling me to take a stance to prevent any possible reaction.
Do it
So
to
yeah,
it. Oh, sweet baby
uh,
Jesus.
yeah, but oh no, I can't burn momentum because it's a 10.
You
Yeah.
can because you have 10 momentum, so you'll beat the
Oh, it'll put me at
so it only
11.
show up when you can actually use it. You can only get a weak hit with this though because you'll only beat that 9. You won't be able to get a strong hit. Thank God you took that extra momentum though, because
Yeah. I mean, yay. Mark progress twice.
so I think you're
So I
not
go into the slash. I try to do so, but this creature who has clearly eons of experience on me using the same type of weapon is able to swiftly counter me.
like the weapon is telling you stuff in real time, but it takes you a moment to figure it out, because you
Yeah.
haven't used it before. So it's like you're just lagging behind this guy's his ability to react to that kind of move.
Yep.
And so he just
He counters. He sweeps my feet. Maybe as he
that's
counters
yeah.
with the thing, and then he sweeps me with like his tail or something, like a tail swipe, and puts me on my back on the ground in a
Oh man.
defensive and prone posture. Yep.
Kayla hears Sage oof in the background, and it takes her
Just
attention away for a
giant
moment.
thud on the floor, and I'm just like, oh.
What's the likelihood that I think every turn we take now until they actually show up, we should well, I don't know. Do you think you think the cultists have shown up by now? Like we just heard them down the hallway. They probably wouldn't be like right behind the alien, right? Like they'd probably be like patrolling around, just happen to hear the noise as our fight
Yeah,
breaks out.
yeah. I mean,
So I think
we got their attention.
and they're coming at
Uh,
us, but I don't think they're popping out just yet.
yeah.
They sound like they were distant, you know?
Isn't this like where you need one of those countdown timer things for?
We could use one.
And like every time we alternate, we can just take up progress on that. And
scene timers work differently from like the actual like game timers, which I don't know if the game timer would work well here, but a scene timer kind of changes the way you do handle the combat. It works
you
differently
mentioned that before, yeah.
because we did a scene timer in the last game, and there's only 2 moves you can make in a with a scene timer, or it's only 2 moves they're set up to take. So I think we just kind of handle this. I think we've got the tension on this about right. I would say we got a 50-50 shot of them showing up.
Yeah, and then just raise it every time.
And then just raise it every time.
Yeah.
So we start with 50-50. Do they show up?
And this is really just how close they were to us, more than anything.
Kayla
they were close. They were really close.
Kayla hears Sage go down. Kayla hears the oof and looks over her shoulder and yells, "Sage!" And just as she does, she also hears boots hitting ground or hitting stone get much closer. And she whips around to see back to the doorway and sees the first cultist turn the corner with his las rifle like leveled, not like aiming but like hip firing. Kayla is going to dodge. There are so we said there's murals around. You think it's, I feel like there's also probably some statues, some kind of
there's definitely like columns, pillars, or something.
So
lining
Kayla's gonna
walls and stuff. Yeah.
Kayla's gonna kind of dodge backwards and do like a double shot thing where she like levels one gun at the cultist and one gun at the guy standing over you. So this is going to be another, because she's still in a bad spot, so it's going to be another clash with Edge, and she's just going to kind of like dodge behind one of these statues in the middle of her room as she goes to put something between her and the cultist, because she's not worried about the range from the guy. She's more worried about the cultist shooting at her, because he hasn't pulled out anything that's ranged yet.
We were supposed to mark. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't.
No, you did it already.
I only had a strong hit.
Damn. I mean, she was just taking shots. So, shot goes over the guy, over the alien's head. He doesn't even respond to it. He's still focused on you. Shot goes over the cultist's head. They just keep coming. They've poured out into the room by now. She just barely gets behind cover. Let's see. Whoops. I keep using the wrong window.
Yeah. You are stressed.
Kayla's like, fuck, there's too much going on.
So when you are stressed, that's a thing, right? Like, yeah, endure stress.
What's that under? Is that
suffer moves?
Suffer moves. Yeah. So when you face mental strain, shock, or despair, suffer -1 spirit for minor stress, -2 for serious stress, or -3 for major stress. If your spirit is 0, lose momentum equal to any remaining stress. Then if your spirit is 0, or you choose to resist the stress, roll spirit or heart, whichever is higher. So I think this is serious stress, at the least. I mean, you could probably argue that it's major stress. We're kind of pinched between an alien we've never seen before, who's going at it with Sage, and 5 cultists who jumped into the room. If it was just the cultists, probably wouldn't feel very stressed out about it, but the alien being here is pretty stressful. So I'm gonna say it's 2 because I think it could get worse. It could be worse.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take the 2. Then I'm gonna roll because I want to resist. Because she realizes she's been in a bad spot for a bit and she needs to not be in a bad spot. So she's gonna roll endure stress. She'll take the 1 momentum hit in exchange for 1 spirit. Well, she's not shaken and she's not going to take the momentum hit. 7 momentum could be good. Could be in our favor. Especially with how she's been rolling.
So, okay.
Yeah, what's the wait? Endure
So
stress.
does that mean that you mark the 2 still?
Yeah, I already marked the 2. So you're supposed to mark it and then roll.
Oh, I'm looking at my spirit, not your spirit.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't see the thing. Oh, because I'm looking at my sheet, not your sheet. Oh, sheet.
What does shaken mean though?
Not stirred.
I hate you so much sometimes. You should meet my buddy Dex. He's a fan of puns. He's definitely a Kelly. I'm assuming shaken means I'm down to 0 spirit. Because it says if you are not shaken, you may lose momentum in exchange for +1 spirit.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Because
you're not shaken. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I missed and my spirit was 0,
You would be shaken.
I would be shaken. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Read the things on the page. All right. So I'm stressed out. Sage, this is really messed up. How you doing over there, buddy?
Okay. I in a bad spot. I'm on my back.
Well,
Aliens
real
towering
quick,
over me.
the cultists, I think, saw me and I shot at them. The one advantage you have, even though you're in a bad spot, is that the cultists saw me firing at them and are kind of focused on me. So nothing's happening to you with the cultists just yet. It's just you and the aliens still. But
Yeah.
that could change.
Okay. Do I notice that we have newcomers to the fight? Or am I focused?
Kayla would have yelled out as the
Okay.
cultists came in. Something like,
and I hear them.
The cult's here, buddy.
So at that
and you would have
point,
heard them because they're shooting at me too. So it's like as they're
the
coming in,
alien sees the cultists. Oh,
what's
but
the
yeah,
likelihood that the alien?
Well, so I was thinking maybe it would like team up with us, but it has nothing right now to go on that they are the threat and not we.
What's
For all
the likelihood,
it knows,
though?
I am the biggest threat right now. Like nothing is triggering it that hey, maybe we're on the same side here. Like,
yeah, but it has you in a bad spot. So
yeah.
here's my thought. Just throwing this one out there. Would the alien just run away?
No.
It's been fighting the cultists. It's
if anything, it would go and maul the cultists and you in the corner since I'm in a bad spot.
So okay, so do you think it would peel off then and go take care of them first?
That's a good. So I guess what is the likelihood that its tactical readout is telling it that I am prone enough for it to strike out at these newcomers?
You have no ranged weapons on you, right?
neither of us have ranged weapons on us.
Okay.
It would have to.
No, I'm just saying that the if it sees though that the cultists, it knows the cultists have ranged weapons. It knows I have ranged weapons.
Yeah.
If it just stays here locked in battle with you, there's a possibility that both you and him are going to get mowed down, right?
It probably won't care about that because it's got a symbiote too.
It won't care about being in a potentially dangerous
Shot at by
situation.
puny weapons from puny little alien things that have
Okay.
invaded its temple. I'm very much the much bigger threat than anything else that's
So
surrounding it.
he stays on you. You're in a bad spot. You're underneath him.
Yeah.
What's your play?
I mean, I try to get out from underneath him. I tried to trip it from where I'm at to try and get it back into so I'm back in control. So
Okay. So it's a clash.
Yeah, it's a clash. Yeah, I'll be doing a clash. Trying to get back up on my feet while also making it prone some way. I guess I tried to swing at its legs with my sword while I get up, because that's what my tactical readout's telling me to do. So I'm going to go for that.
I'm going to edit the other progress meter. I think I made a mistake with the progress meter. Probably should have just left it at just us doing random stuff. I'm going to change this to be the actual combat with the cultists on top of the alien fight.
Okay.
So I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry. Go ahead and do your
So yeah,
thing.
my tactical readout's telling me to swing at its legs to try and trip it while trying to get back up in one smooth movement.
One smooth motion.
While Tim provides cover from any incoming fire from your side of the room. Strong hit it.
Jesus Christ. Fuck you. Oh, man.
Yeah. I do that. I
Do you
trip
basically
it.
do you basically just trade places with it? You trip it and end up on top of it, holding down its sword.
Yeah, I pin it back up against the wall. I get back up on my feet. We're in the middle of the room where it knocked me down. I get back up, and then I kind of don't trip it fully, but it definitely get it on a back foot or something, and so now it's trying to counter, but in a defensive stance as I pin it back up against the wall again.
Again.
And Tim and I yell out, "Ah!"
So you yell, and there's a flurry of sword motion, and again, when you have it pinned up against the wall, it roars in your face. So the cultists have been taking shots. They've just been unloading on the statue that Kayla's been hiding behind, and she's kind of watching. She watched you regain your ground there a bit, but then also noticed that the cultists see that see everything going on the other side of the room now, and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's the alien and another guy that's dressed kind of like the alien. Let's take them out." And so they start putting, someone's still shooting at Kayla, but they start putting a volley of shots your direction. Kayla kind of takes advantage of the of the lowered volume of shots hitting the statue she's hiding behind. Kayla kind of steadies herself and takes your momentum and is like, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And she swings out from behind the statue, both guns blazing at the first cultist she can see that's looking her direction. There we go. She unloads and drops one of the cultists. Causing the cultists that were shooting at you to stop and turn her way. And two of them kind of dip back into the hallway to get out of view because they realized they were just standing out in the open. Kayla's still using the statue as cover, but putting more shots downrange at them to kind of keep them busy. She yells out, or she does the same thing that Sage was like, ah, she does the same thing. Ah! Sage does it, the alien does it, then Kayla does it.
Tim's also doing it, and so is the alien symbiote. Like,
yeah, the aliens, Tim and the symbiote are kind of like at each other, like letting out some kind of harsh screeching sound. All right, buddy, you're real close to being able to decide this. You could try to finish him now, but 7 is not perfect, right?
yeah,
like one or two more boxes would be good, right?
Yes. Yes. Just thinking on here. I will do. No, I won't do such a thing. That's silly.
Gain ground.
Yeah, I was gonna do gain ground. Maybe. I kind of I want to make a 50-50 roll on whether the symbiotes are trying to communicate to each other.
Okay.
No, they aren't.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, they've probably like
they're yelling. We're yelling at each other, but no meaningful conversation between them has happened.
Well, and they've just been, you know, they the same as you have just been trained to kind of like, you know, they're soldiers too, right? Like that's kind of their shtick. So they're not like
they're bonded to their hosts and are feeling those same emotions and stuff. So their blood is going to pumping at the same level as mine is. Okay, so I guess I'll just. So
what if you try to disarm him? I feel like that would be a good gain ground move.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was trying before with that strike, and that should have, I guess, been a gain the ground move instead. Yeah, gaining leverage with force, powering through, or making a threat. Yeah, I make a threat. I yell at it, stop, stop fighting us, and I will say that that's what that symbiote role was, like whether it understood that or not. But
you're
since
both
that
kind of
didn't happen,
in the bloodlust, and
yeah,
you're just barely able to get that out, kind of, and
yep,
that hasn't broken its didn't break its bloodlust because it doesn't directly understand you necessarily.
yeah. So, is that right? Okay, you. Oh no, that's not a strike, so I can't use my blade master. Boo.
I mean, you could.
But I'm still using my relic, so I still get the one. I still get Tim.
Okay.
And I still get that ability if I do a miss. Oh, I totally forgot to.
What's up?
That one miss where I burn momentum. I should have used my ability instead of burning momentum.
Oh yeah.
The reroll.
Oh yeah, the
I forgot about
reroll.
my reroll. Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Remember it for later.
Here goes. Do.
Oh geez.
Hey, guess what I get to do? All right. Yeah.
So if foe gains the upper hand, the fight moves to a new location.
That doesn't happen though.
Oh, you're gonna reroll. Heyo.
Look at that. Sword is already paying off. It does that.
I would because you can't get that +1 on the next move. Yeah, take that 2 momentum. Because because I think you could make a progress roll next one if you wanted to. So what does this look like? So you got him pinned up against the wall.
Yeah,
swords are locked.
I yell out stop. Swords are locked. I make another. Well, they were locked. I pull back a bit, make my tactical strike against his weak point, and kind of disarm him a little bit. His sword gets knocked to the side.
You kind of you like do this, like you pull back a little bit and hit the sword and just kind of fling it, and it goes
it's like
across the
I do
floor.
like a quick flick movement, just barely perceptible by anyone, but it's enough to loosen the grip, and the sword goes flying.
And it shrinks. As it does the thing, like
yep.
And he gets a little less crazy.
The tubes tear out of its wrist, and it goes flying. Its eyes stop glowing like mine are. It's no longer Super Saiyan mode, but it is still beefy and large and has claws and fangs.
It's still bigger than us, or bigger than you.
Yeah. That happens. Okay.
All right, Kayla. Is going to strike now because she had that strong hit, so she's back in control. She dropped one of them and forced 2 of them back into the hallway. She's going to run across the little from one statue to the other, kind of drawing their fire a little bit farther away from you, hopefully, and then pop back out and put some shots down range on them. Weak hit. So Kayla sprints to the other statue across the way from her, jumps out, takes shots, but the volley of laser blasts that come her way hit the statue in front of her and chip out the underside of the statue. It wasn't standing on much, so it's a little spindly kind of thing, a piece of stone. And the laser blast, enough laser blasts hit it It causes the statue to topple backwards, and she has to kind of dodge out of the way. And now she's out in the open, and they're shooting like stormtroopers, but they're still getting close.
Yeah.
So now she's in a bad spot.
There's still 5 or 6 of them.
There are 4.
4? Oh.
She killed one.
Oh, right.
She got a strong hit and killed one.
Okay.
So she's keeping the cultists off of you still.
All right. I will do another gain ground. I'm thinking I will hold up my sword up against the thing's throat, tell it to stop again. Both Tim and I in unison are telling it to stop, yelling at it.
That's making a threat. Or I guess, so it'd either be commanding or making a threat. So heart or iron.
Uh,
I think you're trying. I think this is like a negotiating piece at this point.
it's hard, yeah.
So I think it would be heart.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
I think you could argue it would be iron if you were to like put the sword through the stone behind, next to its head or something like that. Like you could make an attack kind of that doesn't really hit it, but that shows it that you could.
No, yeah, I will actually do that. I part of that. Okay, I don't hold it against its throat. I just shove the sword into the stone wall near its head.
Clearly, like
Clearly,
in a way,
I missed it. Yeah,
it was intentional that you were doing that. So you're trying to show it, hey, stop the fighting.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Choose one. Well, yeah. Our progress.
I think that's a good call because I think that means you could. I think you could make a progress roll in the next one and have a good because that's what 9.
It screeches back at me, both him and its symbiote, very angrily, growly. Yeah.
But you're not quite sure what the outcome's going to be just yet.
Yeah.
Kayla is going to react under fire. She is out in the open. So she's going to be taking cover, running to the next, essentially running to the next pillar, while having lasers hurled her direction. Motherfucker.
It loves giving you those 10s.
I think she's actually going to take a hit on her way. A glancing hit, but she's going to take a hit on her way into cover.
Okay.
So she loses the 1 health. She is going to try to resist though. Sweet baby Jesus. Weak hit. If you're not wounded, you may. Yeah, I'm not wounded. So, No, she's gonna take the hit. She's gonna be hurt. So as she's like scrambling for cover, one of the shots just catches her in one of her shoulders. But like it's like a glancing shot, so it's like it hurts. The plasma rips through her vest and her shirt and kind of leaves a heat scar across one shoulder, and it's enough to hamper her shooting with that arm, but not stop her from shooting with that arm. She is still in a bad spot.
Okay. Since I guess switch back to me, I'm
Yep.
control of the alien. I'm yeah. I guess we can make a progress roll. 9 progress.
I feel like
I'm feeling it.
if you're successful with this roll, I feel like you're communicating on some level that
It finally understands.
we're not going to kill it if it just backs off.
Yeah.
Or maybe helps us. Who knows?
Yep. All right, make a progress roll. It's just a straight roll then, huh? Oof.
Yeah. Well, it's the progress number.
Yeah. Right.
Versus
nothing
D10s.
else.
Yeah, see, you're like worried about it. You have not been rolling 9s and 10s all game.
That's an 8 and a 3. That was it would beat it by 1.
Yeah, but you beat it.
All right. So yeah, strong hit. Cool.
You're like screaming. You tell him you yell at him to stop, and he's kind of screaming back in your face.
We're still we were screaming. Tim reaches out a little paw and does a little symbiote mind meld to the other symbiote.
Does a little symbiote download action?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who's Spock and who's Kirk here.
The alien kind of, Tim reaches out his little paw and touches the other symbiote, and almost instantly you see the alien kind of go slack a little bit, like his body was all tense, trying to hold you back off of him after you knocked away his sword. But
we share some visions of our purpose and our, I kind of get a feel that it's just here to guard the place. It gets a feel that I'm just here to kill the other fuckers, and no essentia is in my mind. I don't know what the hell that is quite yet.
Well, yeah, that you're not you don't work for the essentia, right?
Yeah,
I'm
not there.
You're
I just happen to be wielding weapons. I'm not working.
Yeah, you're doing work for yourself. You just happen to have their weapons. So I think it kind of like you both of you guys have the like eyes roll back in the head moment where you vision exchange,
yep.
and it kind of like
same with the
very
symbiote.
Quickly.
Our symbiotes and us are both like in that trance kind of. Yeah, mind meld.
I feel like it very quickly like assesses the situation, and like you kind of, as you're kind of easing up, like you feel like it's getting the picture now. As you ease up, it just jumps up to the ceiling or something like that. Jumps out of frame, essentially. Right?
I thought it would go grab its sword and help us.
I think it will.
And help clean up the
I feel like it's
I'm right now in the heat of battle. It's skittering away to its sword.
Yeah.
I'm now facing the cultists with you.
So it tucks and rolls and grabs its sword, and at the end there you see it like picking up the sword, and it starts to activate again, and the little tubes come out and repair themselves and whatnot.
Yep. It hulks up again. Goes Super Saiyan, Super Lizard Saiyan, Super Frieza.
Frieza. No, it's Cell.
Okay, yeah. That is definitely more reptilian.
Right? Kayla stuck behind, hurt and stuck behind another pillar, being unloaded on by these guys. Two of them are kind of hiding in the hallway a little bit, but still can kind of see to her where she's at. Two of them are kind of standing out in the open, dumping on her. Maybe caught a little bit of what was going on, but Kayla yells, "Sage, I could really use some help." And she's going to react under fire.
I can't remember. Does
What's up?
that roll? Oh wait, no. It would tell us in the.
Yeah, it doesn't give us any quest thing. These are just
No
the
experience.
situation, resolving the situation essentially.
Yeah.
Though I would say that I mean,
The vow for taking out the cultists.
yeah, the vow definitely went up. I would definitely mark. So she's going to take a look at her surroundings and take a hint from the statue that they shot out, and she's going to look and see if there's anything that she can shoot out to kind of block part of the entrance or the opening in the hallway. So she's going to react under fire with wits. Oh my god. She
Again
tries
with
putting some shots
the
down, but they're unloading on her, and she takes another hit. So I feel like as part of your moves, depending on how well you do, we could also have the alien function as part of that. Seeing as how
Yeah.
you're kind of bros now.
Yep. Okay,
It's not necessarily that
so
you're commanding it, but just like it's doing its thing and you're doing your thing, and you both
we're
succeed or
tactically,
fail. Linked.
We're linked now a little bit there. Sharing some information. That mind meld has definitely increased whatever connection we had before. So we're able to kind of communicate through the symbiotes to coordinate our attacks. So I do that. I guess I'm going to do something badass, and so I'm still in the opposite corner. I pull out my other sword that I had, my old one, and
Your lesser sword.
lob it across the room at one of the guys, like it's a dagger.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah.
it's clearly a giant broadsword.
Dudes are like sitting there like shooting at me and just unloading, and like all of a sudden this this sword comes spinning across the room at it. Thunk. Puts one into the wall if it hits.
I have to roll edge because it's a ranged attack.
Yep.
But I get my Tim.
But you get your Tim. So yeah, the sword thunk hits a guy, runs him through, pins him to the wall essentially.
He's down for the count. Yep. And then the alien is nowhere to be seen, and I am out in the open.
Yeah, just hurled the sword. You have your other sword, but you just threw your other sword, so it's like you don't have anything else to really. Uh, did you get a strong hit on that? Yeah, you got a strong hit on that. So yeah, you get a +1 momentum. Adlin's right.
On the alien fight one?
Yeah, on the finishing up the alien fight. When you seize an objective in a fight, envision how you take decisive action, then roll the challenge dice, compare your progress. If you're in control, check the results as normal. If you're in a bad spot, count as being a strong hit without a match as a weak hit. You were in control though, so yeah, that counted as decisive action.
Okay. I mean, I won't argue against extra momentum.
He's right. It's I think it's an actual separate move, but it's basically the same. I mean, it's a progress check, and it just changes the outcome if depending on whether or not you're in a bad spot or in control. It just kind of changes the outcome a little bit.
Gotcha.
So either you know something bad happens or you get momentum. Realistically, you can choose to do this, or you can choose not to do that, and just go with the progress roll.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in a bad spot.
Kayla is going to take advantage of the confusion as the sword has impaled the one guy and take a shot at the other guy who has stopped shooting at her now and is staring at his buddy who is hanging from the wall, pinned by a sword about the size of his body. Sweet baby Jesus. Uh, I so she puts some shots down range. Uh enough so that we can mark progress once. But the return fire from the guys in the hallway hits one of her blasters. She is down to a single gun. Cannot put out the volume of fire she's been putting out. Man.
Okay. Well, I'm in a bad spot, so I need to
You can either
not
react
not
under
throw my
fire or
fancy sword. I'm
clash.
not going to do that. I'm going to be reacting under fire. um,
Probably like getting into position, right?
yeah, I'm going to be running up. Uh, um, yeah, I think Edge is the one there. Getting back into position.
Yeah.
Okay. So I try to get back in position and close in on those guys and provide an opening, hopefully for our alien friend to flank from wherever he's at. I only get my Tim bonus. I don't get the blade bonus. And Edge anyways. Weak hit. Okay. make a suffer move. -1. Yeah, I run up, but there's like 3 remaining guys.
Yeah, there's 3 guys
So
remain because you stabbed one, I shot one.
they I don't provide enough of an opening for our alien pal to help us out, and so they're still focused on us and kind of firing. And as I close in, I take a hit, but instead,
But poor Tim takes the brunt of it.
I don't want no. Tim is not looking good right now. Or maybe. Mm, yeah, I'll say I'll take the hit on that one. I've got a little more fluff than Tim. So
Okay.
yeah, I take one for the team for the team. Yep.
You're like,
I
it's
know.
okay, buddy. I got this one. Oof.
Yep. Uh, since that's avoiding the worst of the danger, I'll say that's a -1 health for that. And then enduring the harm.
So you can try to resist it, which could be bad if you miss, but it could if you succeed, it'll let you take away the damage essentially.
Can I add my one for Tim here? Does that work?
Let me see what your Tim does. What does it say? What kind of rolls?
Oh, it's an aggressive. It has to be an aggressive thing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
enduring that harm is not the
oh yeah, because it's
running up.
actually it talks about actually enduring harm too, like deciding whether to endure harm or companion takes the hit.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's not in the what do you call it? The spirit of the.
Yep. Okay.
So you can lose 1 momentum to get back 1 health. Otherwise, you just take the 1 health damage. You're down to 3 though.
I'm down to 3
right?
health. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I take it. Press on.
Kayla's not looking too good right now. But you give her an opening. So she's just going to go for it. The guy that shot you, she lays into him. Oh, God damn it. Oh, burn my momentum for a weak hit. So we mark progress. But a Delta counterblow or a setback. I'm going to stay in a bad spot. I'm going to roll, pay the price again. God damn it. Face the consequences of an earlier choice. Hmm.
Something about the pillars is just coming to my mind.
All the blaster fire. I mean, that one fell down. All of the blaster fire has been weakening the ones that have been, in her general area.
Yeah.
And so she kind of leans forward on it and wraps her arm around and kind of leans out to take shots at the guy. Takes shots, um, but which kind of distracts him a little bit for you now. But at the same time, the pillar just takes her weight, and you would think that the stone pillar wouldn't have a problem with a 130-pound, 140-pound woman, but it just enough to kind of tip it over, and it starts like a domino effect.
Oh no.
So the remaining pillars around her all kind of fall flat too, and she is left out in the open, like danger zone open. And she yells out, "Sage, we gotta finish this. I'm not gonna last much longer."
Okay. Well, I did close in technically, but I'm still in a bad spot.
That doesn't mean you can't do that. You can try to take decisive.
Clash.
Oh, you're gonna clash? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you can't burn momentum for that, right?
Can't burn momentum for a progress roll?
Right.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you could, the progress roll itself is more than your momentum, so it doesn't. It's 8, so you don't have enough momentum to outscore the progress roll.
All right. Well, I clash. Yeah. I analyze the most prone of the cultists remaining with my battle analyzer sword.
Well, there's a couple hiding, but there's one out in the open still, and I just took his attention away from you. So that's probably. But
didn't you kind of take out all the hiding with the domino effect?
I did.
So
I'm just saying he turned on me. No, I mean the guys that are hiding are in the hallway, around the corner from where we're at, essentially.
They're in the hallway. They're not in the room.
Yeah, they dodged back. They ducked back into the hallway.
Okay, I guess. Yeah. Well, I'm up there in the doorway. I'm doorway fighting. Yay!
Doorway fight.
Yeah, I tried to again strike at one of the guys to kind of create an opening for our lizard friend to see if he helps us out. And since it's clash, I get to use the Blade Master bonus. I get to use my Tim bonus. This is iron. And I cut down another fucker. And mark progress twice. I cut down the one guy, and our alien friend comes up from the court. Like who knows how he got out, but he managed to get on the other side of the corridor and flanked them from the other side and took out one of the other guys that are.
You're in control now. You roll decisive action on the yeah.
And now he takes out the final one.
The alien walks forward with the heads of the two guys in his hands. You see him pop out from the hallway where he has already eviscerated the other two guys, which must have been what he was doing while he was not there after he disappeared.
Yep.
And these cultists are done for.
Damn. All right. That's progress on the vow.
That's definitely progress on the vow, and that is complete for that. And I say we drop it right there. I think that's a good start for next week is what we're going to do. We're going to have to figure out some way to, hopefully this alien's going to be friendly with us now, or at least not hostile towards us directly.
Yeah.
So we'll start next week by having our I don't know, what do you call it, like our dances with wolves moment with this alien,
Yeah.
and and hopefully we can recruit him into helping take out the rest of the cultists. Will help him understand how to stop them from coming. Period. Or maybe he doesn't. He's not strong enough to take on their. They have like 15 people in their little base area, and so he maybe is it isn't a good position for him to assault. So now that there's three of us, he might have some ideas as to what to do there too. So
Well, we're gonna get a giant knowledge bomb too from this guy. I'm going to assume
I
about a
feel like we're
great
gonna
many
learn.
things.
I feel like we're gonna learn about the purpose of Cerberus, and maybe something about, well, I mean, we'll probably learn Essentia things, but at least the purpose of Cerberus, right?
Yep.
Oh man. Okay. So I want to point out we talked about what we're gonna do next time. That was as an end of uh as end of session move. So we get our momentum. And holy shit, Kayla's gonna have to figure out how to heal up at some point. We have to do some recover moves at some point. Maybe we'll do a sojourn after all this is said and done at because Kayla and Sage need a little bit of
And
healing,
Tim.
and Tim.
And the alien probably does too. And I'm going to assume that he knows where we can have that happen in the temple.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe we can. Maybe we can take a rest here. I was thinking of a sojourn, like so it's like a move like uh the man with no name gets shot and he's in a small town and they could take care of him for a little bit. It's a community centric thing where you kind of like gain a bond with the community.
Yeah.
But if there's something at the temple we could use, that might also be good.
I mean, that could be part of that, couldn't that? Like bonding with the alien, learning about the like while we're going to, I don't know, healing tanks or who knows what the hell it is in here that's gonna help get us back on our feet. But I assume during that whole thing we will have also had a chance to bond with this guy here, and yeah.
All right.
Oh, Alan pointed out. I get, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
All righty, sir. I think we got everything else. We got our vow marked up. We didn't really do much else other than fight the alien and this little group of cultists. So we don't really have any connection stuff to work out.
Yeah.
Um,
Man,
and
that
we don't have any other
reroll.
vows to cover.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah,
I knew that was a valuable thing
stupid
to unlock.
powerful. That's making me question whether or not I should, because I have a. Oh no, wait, I don't. Oh no, I just have the bonus to gain ground thing. Yeah, reroll power is good. That's pretty badass. All right, people. Thank you for joining us, Adland. Thank you for the assistance with the rules there. I believe next week is our off week, Jason. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we won't be back next week. I will probably be streaming on Thursday anyway, just a game or something. Maybe paint night on Thursday. The next time we will be back is going to be that would be the 7th of September.
Oh wait. No. I'm
No,
I'm not on call next week.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. Am I? What? Let me check my app here.
While Jason checks his schedule there momentarily, I will probably be streaming tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get a stream in on Sunday as well. I got a buddy who has been trying to get me to play a co-op game of Baldur's Gate 3 with them. So if we play, I will probably be streaming that. Um, alternately, I'll be streaming whatever I'm playing at the time. I might play some more Remnant with Chris. That seemed to be pretty popular, a little bit more popular than my terrible solo Baldur's Gate 3 game where I don't really talk much, so it doesn't really. It's kind of boring. Um, but either that or some COD. We get back into that, or a painting stream. So just keep an eye out. Look out
Or
for
some salmon.
alerts. Some slamming salmon.
Some salmon. Yeah. Yeah. Next week it looks like I'm good. Next week.
Okay, so next week we are on. So 31st, we will be back for session 9. And hopefully we'll clean up this cultist mess and get some healing in or something.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. We'll see you again in a week. Have a good night, and hope everyone takes it easy.